Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of the Cartridge and Disc podcast. We got another interesting subject here. Thank you for joining me. I really would appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button for me and that like. It really does help the channel. Thank you for all the new subscribers, and I hope I have another topic for you here that will interest you. And Daedalic Entertainment here, the developer behind the Lord of the Rings Gollum, has announced that it's shutting down its internal game development and laying off 25 of its employees, opting to focus exclusively on game publishing. Yikes. This game was so terrible, guys, that it really killed the company. When we think of Gollum in general now, the public thinks of everything that's wrong with modern gaming today, right? Let's research a little bit deeper here. Let me get you some of the information, and then we'll discuss about it a little bit here. The studio has said that it will support the affected employees in finding new opportunities within its network. Daedalic Entertainment is in development projects including the other 3D action adventure game set within the Lord of the Rings universe, codenamed It's Magic, have been halted. However, right, Surviving Deponia, the single-player colony simulator announced on June 10th, will continue as planned, with Atomic Torch serving as a primary developer now. The Lord of the Rings Gollum launched on May 25th to much derision from critics and players alike, and despite reportedly pulling in $400,000 in sales and reaching the number 6 spot from the UK sales chart in its first week, Daedalic Entertainment said it still didn't meet expectations. The studio tweeted an apology on May 26, promising to fix bugs and technical issues to make it an enjoyable experience, though the studio has been silent since. So who knows if they're going to go back and fix it, right, guys? This is just a few notes that I wrote from an article that's actually in Kotaku, and I think I'm going to, link it for you down here. Usually I don't like reading this magazine because they always throw something extra in there that has nothing to do with gaming. But in this case, they just did a fair job with this, and they give a few quotes in there regarding the developer and what went wrong. But we know exactly what went wrong, guys. This is no mystery here. We don't have to, we don't need the Scooby-Doo crew here. This game was trash. It was buggy. It was rushed. Like I said, everything that's wrong about modern gaming today is present in this game. And hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars went to the trash here, right? And it has to be millions because they, just the licenses alone, right, require you to produce a quality product. We just heard what AAA games require to make, right? Let's say this game was half. Let's say just this game was 150 million. And you only sold $400,000. You're not even recouping your costs. Forget about the marketing, right? Because we're just talking about development, and to that you have to add marketing. So this game right here broke the company. That's what actually did it. That is why it's so important, guys, for these companies to not only focus on the game but quality. But the way games are made today, it's not like what we used to think. Us Gen X gamers, we always have those pictures of, Miyamoto and his team, and they're all working at Nintendo. They're all in their cubicles and everybody's next to each other. But that's not the way games are developed today, right? It's developed in teams, and one team is working on one thing, another team's working on another. And it really does take project management, right, and running a tight ship in order to do this, along with quality control at every step. And when you don't get the time sometimes, or when you don't get the budget, or, so many things can happen within a company. We don't know if the employees were paid fairly, for example. But, there's so many questions. Obviously something went wrong, whether it was at the top by management not knowing what they were doing, or by having, poor working conditions. At this point, we don't know. I'm sure eventually when these people find new jobs, they'll start talking about what actually happened with this game and what went wrong, right? Those are always the best stories, by the way. You know, and I don't want to make light of people losing their jobs here. I don't. But I think that it's a very important lesson, you know, for other developers to see what happens when you just basically half-ass it, which is what these people did. I mean, the game, you can go online, guys. I have seen short after short after short of how buggy this game was. I mean, it was just comical. They were making memes about it. It was so trash, right? And when you have something like this that you know the public are going to be waiting for, I mean, I was thinking when they first announced this game, yeah, you know, this is something I'm interested in. Let's see how they do it. Maybe it's going to be a stealthy game. I'm sure it's going to have a lot of puzzles. You know, you're just thinking, right? You're, you know, in your mind what a game could be. And then this comes out, and it's such a miserable failure that it just destroys the company. And to do it with a good brand, you know, we've had some good Lord of the Ring games, right? But this is so below par, such a buggy mess. And this is after they came out apologizing profusely, you know, and saying, we're going to fix it. We're going to do this. You know, they promise you everything, right? And it's like that old Miyamoto saying, right? You know, a late game can always be good, right? But a rush game is always going to be screwed. And I'm just paraphrasing. Of course, he didn't say that. Those are my words. But you guys know what I'm referring to, right? When you rush things and you just put it out there and you don't put the quality into your product, it's going to show. And the public is going to react. And, you know, boy, did the critics and the public react. This game was panned from the very beginning. And not only panned it in words and writing, but panned in video. And it came from everywhere. It came from the gamers themselves, you know, actually making fun of the game, which is probably the worst thing that can happen. And now in this age, you know, that information just travels at the speed of light. It's not like when we were growing up, right? And if a game was trash, you know, these guys could sell 500,000 copies before everybody noticed that the game was absolute garbage. Right now, before, you know, as soon as that game hits the shelves and somebody finished it on the first or second day, people know exactly what's going on. And this was the perfect storm of the new era of media and technology that we have now, the new era of information when it comes to video game journalism and video game reporting and the participation of the players, and bad game development, bad rush game development, where the only thing they care about is those initial numbers, getting the game out, selling it first and fixing it later. Well, it didn't work this time, and I hope that's not a pattern that keeps on continuing, guys. These guys, whenever they rush a game and whenever they do this to the public, they should always pay the price. You know, not the price as far as, you know, people losing their jobs, but they should learn a hard lesson here. And hopefully next time, whatever company does this, will think twice. Thank you guys for joining me. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and I earned your subscription. Make sure to hit that like button. And if you'd like to, please subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.